Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, and today I am going to be reviewing the Owl House Season 3 special number 2 called For the Future. And in case you haven't seen any of my recent videos, I mentioned before I'm in kind of like a it's like okay, how do I say this? It's basically quiet hours. And that started like a couple of days ago, only because from when quiet hours started, the finals week is right around the corner. And again, a couple of days has passed, so it's basically finals week begin tomorrow. And of course, different students have like different days like in the week, but it's like during like that week basically, which is this week technically. So that's why I'm kind of whispering, but I'm near the microphone, so hopefully this will be good. But what was the other thing I wanted to talk about? Alright, because I mentioned this like I think a long time ago, that because I think I did it in my first year in college, right? Yeah, I think I did it in my first year in college, where finals week is just meant for finals and no distractions or anything like that. So I'm basically doing it again now for like year 2, because I'm in year 2 right now. So what I'm planning to do is doing my full review, not mini review because I already did that, my full review on the Owl House Season 3 special number 2 for the future. I'm planning on doing that tonight. It's kind of late because obviously you see I guess from your angle it doesn't seem like any different, but I'm telling you, it's very different. But sorry, I'm trying to get my point across. Right. So I'm going to do my full review today, and I'm telling you that because tomorrow, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and maybe Thursday I'm gonna be busy, and then Friday I'm going back to my other home, like where like the paint in the walls are different. Like if you've been on my channel long enough, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I think it's Friday. It's either Friday or Saturday. It's like around the weekend is when I'm going back home, basically. And yeah, I'll need like a day or so like to settle back in, because like it would basically be summer. So yeah, so sorry this feels like a little awkward. I just kind of wanted to just talk about this. And yeah, so basically what I'm saying is this is gonna be like the final thing you're gonna see for a while, until like finals are like finished and everything's submitted, and I said goodbye to all my teachers and stuff like that, and all the surveys are completed. It's university stuff. So without delaying any further, without further ado, let's get on with the special. So we start here with the skull of the Titan, and the clutcher just starts cracking it. And again, we have Luce saying, hey, we have to hold on, and Luce, King just says goodbye, and then the clutcher is having a blast, and he's just having a party, and everyone's screaming in terror. And then King's like, hey Clutcher, you gotta calm down, like, hey, don't worry, we're gonna play the game, right? And we have Lilith with the Hootie copter saying, hey, get away from my nephew, you thing. And then the Clutcher says, oh, you're no fun, and shoots like a star at her, and Hootie, protects her. Wait, hold on a second. And then Hootie turns into a I guess it's like a wind up cuckoo clock, or you know what that reminds me of is a wind up Jack in the Box. That's what it reminds me of. And then she's like, Hootsifer. And then it's pretty cool that, and it's also kind of traumatic because the skull is of King's dad, basically, but the collector I don't think cares or doesn't understand. Is using the skull to turn into a castle, and it looks pretty cool. And yeah, we basically seen the tiny skull getting to pieces, and we have Ida, comforting Rain. Okay, Rain's not dead, by the way, because I was thinking in the first special, like, is Rain dead? Is Ida dead? Who knows? And yeah, and Ida doesn't have her arm anymore. And Ida turns into a harpy form. And the Eclipse is having a ball. There's this weird section of Pinstagram of listening, like, oh, everyone's getting like captured and stuff. I think this is Viney right here, and that's Basha. And I guess like the teachers are defending Hexhead. Hey, look, this Principal Bump. Friendly Neighborhood Pointy Head. No. I guess it's supposed to be Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man reference, I guess. I don't know. The whole Pinstagram thing that was weirdly placed. I mean, I'm not taking the point out for anything, but I wouldn't have chosen that. And then this is where Ida's curse is taken up again, and Ida is trying to take her elixir, and this is where the wait, hold on a second. Where the collector said, "Hey, you look fun, wanna play?" And then like her curse starts working up again, and like we get the new Owl House logo for today's special. And for the future, and we have Luce, and she's back in this weird in-between type of realm, and Luce kind of is like hearing like a voice, and we see this guy, and there's like a whole lot of speculation, and again, since like there's like no more Alpha stuff, it was revealed who this guy is. I'm not gonna reveal it until it's the proper time to reveal it, but there's been speculation that this could be a spirit of a Titan. That's what some people are saying, because a lot of people say there's multiple Titans and different worlds, basically. So someone's saying that this could be like another Titan reaching out to Luce. I mean, that could be a possibility, And Luce's like, hey, look, who's that guy? And Amity pulled out Luce, and the portal's closing. And I just want to mention that almost this entire episode, Hunter is just angry, but justifiably so. And Luce's like, oh, I thought I heard somebody. And and even Luce mentioned like who, and Hunter is just not having it, and he's just like, hey, like he made like a Lord Voldemort reference, saying, hey, like you don't have to worry about his name being taboo or anything. Because I think that was in the Harry Potter books of Voldemort. Sorry. It was in the Harry Potter books that Voldemort's name was taboo. So Hunter doesn't directly say that, but he basically says that, saying, hey, like a swarm of ghosts isn't gonna like swarm us or anything, because that's what happened with like when you say Voldemort's name and not say who, Death Eaters would basically come and get you. So it was like, that's not gonna happen. But some of these spooks hunters say, oh my goodness, it is a ghost. And then I like this where Will's like, oh, hello my plant friends, and Gus is making Gus is making an illusion, and say, oh, Will, we missed you. And I just want to show this right here. Hold on a second. Hunter kind of smiles a bit, but he sees like a red bird, and it kind of reminds him of Flapjack. And Hunter's just back to all business, and Gus is kind of worried because, um, Gus honestly, I can just tell from this face, especially with like the hints he was throwing at Hunter, not really throwing at Hunter, but to kind of explain to Hunter that he kind of knows about him being a Grimwalker. So Gus kind of feels kind of guilty, and now everyone knows. Luce explained it to everyone that, oh, Hunter's a Grimwalker because all the secrets were just coming out, and so Gus kind of feels kind of guilty. He's like, maybe if I would just talk to Hunter, maybe things would have been better. Maybe Flapjack would still be here. So Gus is kind of blaming himself a little bit. Maybe not for everything, but Gus is kind of holding on to that guilt. And obviously, you kind of see Willow's face right here. You see the lines on her eyes, where she's like, "Okay, I have to take on the burden, basically, because I can't let Gus take it." And he's like, "Hey, everything's gonna be okay." And look at Gus's face. Oh, he's like, "Oh, thanks, Will. Like, you always know what to do." And like this sweet moment where Amity's like, "Oh, the human realm was fun, but I'm glad we're back here. Hello, gorgeous slime." And there's a moment right here. Um, well, Liz was blushing, and Camilla. This is the important part. Camilla was like, is trying to understand Liz, but saying like, "Hey, Mija, like you never explained that this place is really beautiful." And like, yeah, if you, and again, this was early season 1 where he's like, "Hey, the bowling alley's not gonna lie, it stinks. There's a bunch of thieves and there's bad people, but there's also good people. And if we look at it from a different perspective, this is oh, the island looks beautiful." And that's what Camilla's looking at right here. And Camilla's like, "Oh my goodness, that skull." And then they're like, "Oh no, the skull's normal. The cuteness is wrong." And Camilla's kind of pretending. Luce kind of sees it, like, "Hey, mama, like you're pretending. Come on, like, stop it." And it's like, "Oh," I'm like, Camilla's like, I'm having a blast at knowing that you were living on a giant carcass." And Lucy's like, "Hey, I appreciate it, Mom. I appreciate you being supportive, but I haven't changed my mind. As soon as we defeat all our as soon as we defeat the Collector and Bellows once and for all, and I definitely make sure that Eda and King are safe, I'm going back to the human realm permanently." And then you see that they're very distant because Camilla's like, "Hey, Luce, come on, we gotta talk about this." And this is just look how like pretty the tree is, right? And you had this butterfly, and what was it? And Bells just gooped it. And Bells is he's hallucinating, or ghosts are real, because we see Caleb right here, and he just looks like a sulking version of himself, and just like there's a knife right there. And he's like, "Oh, don't give me that look. I could have saved your soul." And all that hoopla. I actually kind of want to play the clip, but I just don't want to play too much. I'm just trying to. Wait. Well, hold on a second. Should I just play right here? Hold on a second. Right here? Trying to. Hold on. Let me just. Sorry. Let me just go back a little bit. Come on. Okay, I think this is a good moment.
Don't mock me. I tried to save your soul. It's your fault this all happened.
Oh, jeez. Sorry, I don't want to play too much, but you can just see the Bells is just falling apart. Yeah, Bells is just falling apart, but come on. I just want to get this moment. Come on. Why can't I? Mm. Come on. That's disappointing. I want to get this moment right here, but for some reason I can't get it. Why is this so frustrating? I'm not giving up that easily. Yeah, and Bell's basically says, like, I need to find a new body. And Caleb just looking at him with shame. But come on, where's that death stare? Come on, man. Am I really not gonna find it even though it's literally right here? That's crazy. Okay, yeah, his hand falls off. Okay. Hold on a second. I guess I'm not gonna find it. Okay. So this is where they go to our house, and this is where Luce actually introduces it. And the very first moment that we actually go into the owl house for the very first time in season 1, it's very different from now. It used to be a very mystical and warming place, and now it's just very barren. And this is interesting. The palace Hunter's obviously pacing because Hunter just wants to save everyone. He just doesn't want Bells to hurt anyone or give them any scars or anything. And the Palismen are just following him. Does that have to do something with Flapjack? Or maybe it's to do something with being a Grimwalker because he has some wood in him, and it's Palisman wood. So I wonder it's because of that. Who knows why? But Hunter, Gus and Willow is looking at like, our Palismans are following Hunter. Should we be concerned? And Camilla's like, oh, you kids have been through a lot. Hey, do you guys need to talk about anything? Gus said, oh, Camilla, thank you. I miss my dad. And even Gus tries to remember a good moment with them. And again, Willow being the supportive one is like, hey, don't worry, we're gonna get him back. And we even have Hunter freaking out, and even possibly kind of back up, but they don't want to leave him because again, it's either because of Flapjack or maybe he has some Palisman wood in him. Who knows? But they're just not leaving Hunter's side. They're like, nope, we're not leaving. And Gus is like, hey, I'm gonna go check on Hunter. And he's like, oh, okay. And then Willow's like, you know what, I'm gonna go with you because everyone needs cheering up. And then Camilla's like, hey, whoa. Hey, Willow, sweetie, I think that's great that you want to cheer everyone up. Like, everyone needs that friend in the group that can like rely on. But hey, Willow, you're a child too. What's Willow, like 15? Yeah, 15. So I was like, hey, like, are you okay? He's like, I'm fine. And then we actually see some plants. Even Camilla notices it because Camilla's been with these kids for how many months? More than 3 weeks. There was like a photo that said our summer together, so it was definitely more than 3. So yeah, Camilla obviously knows about their magic and probably knows about. Either Willow explained to her, maybe Amity, or maybe Lucid, or maybe Hunter. Who knows? Gus, maybe. Who knows? Of when Willow gets stressed, her plant magic acts up, or maybe Camilla's just using context clues. Who knows? But yeah, this isn't a good sign. And we have Amity with ghosts, and And it's like, and Luz is doing light spells, and this is cute. Luz is in Edith's nest, and she's with her Palisman egg, and Ami's like, oh, did you thought that they would hatch if you were Edith's nest? Is oh, probably. And and I guess this does kind of match Amity, because I don't really know what other route they would have took it, because Amity say, hey, I would Luz say, hey, I never really asked you how you got your pals, and I just kind of just accepted it. I mean, yeah, and Amity's like, oh, okay, yeah, sure, I'll tell you. And Amity's like, well, I forgot I forgot how Amity. I forgot what Amity said of how she got her palisman. If either her siblings got it for her, or it was from the Bat Queen, or it was from her dad or mom. Who knows? I kind of forgot. But either way, Amity basically got the palisman wood shaped like Ghost basically, but she wouldn't budge because Amity was basically when she got Ghost was the moment when she was really in conflict of what she wants to do and how she was feeling, because that was the same moment where Amity kissed Luz on the cheek and they never really talked about their feelings or anything. And around the same time that's when it was before Eclipse Lake when we actually finally meet Ghost, because that's when everyone like brought their palismans to the Owl House. So, and you know that's when officially when Amity and Luz got together. So Amity was like really confused with herself and what she actually wanted, and she's and you know Amity basically kind of expressed to Ghost, like when she was in wood form, as I understand it, that all my life I was always doing what other people wanted and I never really did what I wanted. And Amity really, Amity said, what I really want to do is be my best version of my own witch. If that makes any sense. I want to be the best version of myself, because I was always putting a facade. I was always mean to people, even though I didn't want to be. I always tried for something I didn't even really want, or what I thought I want, but it wasn't really what I want. So I just want to be the best version of me. That's nice and that's creative and you know the reach the good witch's aura. Maybe I might become a writer one day, and I really don't know what my future holds, but I know I know for a fact I don't want to put a facade anymore. And I know sometimes I kind of put a little bit more flair than what the actual show does. I do that for multiple shows from times, but I think it's basically what Amity's saying. I never want to put a facade ever again. And she said, you know, even though I don't know what my future holds still, because yeah, Amity's 15. You know, Ghost thought that was enough, and Ghost emerged. And you know, Lucy, I want to be a witch. I know that for sure, but being a witch has caused so many problems for so many people. It doesn't seem like to be enough, because yeah, they're not hatched. And I say, hey, don't worry, you'll figure it out. And you know, they just need some time. And like, don't worry, we'll find Eden and King. And then Hunter's like, I found Eden and King. Like, where are they? They're on this shooting star. And that's crazy. And like, yeah, and everyone's got their palismans, and Camilla's like, oh my goodness, you guys fly. And I just love how Camilla accidentally stepped on this eyeball, and I'm assuming the eyeballs are sentient in a way, because Camilla just bowed to it, like, oh, but she immediately freaked out, like, oh, greetings, sir. And and it's and then Hunter's like, hey, everyone stay back. What is it? Sparkles. What do you mean? Sparkles. And yeah, we basically have one of those fathers, and so I was right. It was either that or one of the Emerald Entrails, you know, her team, and yeah, everyone's just running around crazy. And then Will's like, oh, hey, like, Dad, do you know where what was the other dad's name? Gilbert? Was that it? I forget. And Hunter grabs her because she doesn't want to, she doesn't, he doesn't want, her to get hurt. And then boop, 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 boop. We have this weird version of the Owl Beast, and then the Collector comes. And I was thinking from the trailer, like, well, what's going on here? And oh my goodness, Terra Snapdragon is pretending to be Ida. I didn't like this because I kind of thought this was kind of a disservice to King in a way. A lot of people complained it was because it was mainly for fan service, and yeah, I get you want to split from the fandom from the actual show because the show should be its own story. I kind of get that complaint, but really, when it comes to Terra, he doesn't act like that. She has a cool ant vibe, and I'm like, Collector. Yeah, that's true, and for some people, but you've been hanging out with King. Yeah, maybe King might say that, but Ida adopted King, so mostly the King, Ida would be like a mother to her. So I kind of thought it was a little bit of an insult that a Collector's like Terra, Ida isn't like that. You're kind of treating her like a passive aggressive cool aunt, but she's really a loving mother. You should try that. And obviously Terra isn't a loving mother, so she can like stand about that. I think that would have worked better. But who knows? Maybe I'm overthinking it. And Terry even tried to make fun of Ida and Ray, like, "Ooh, I like musicians." And then the Clutcher's like, "You're not being nice," and boom. And obviously Clutcher's like, you see like himself like in like a timeout, and King's like, "Clutcher, can we talk?" And I guess this their version of the Owl House is basically playing pretend and basically living Luce's adventures basically. So basically King's like, "Oh, like this is basically the Owl House is living Luce's fantasy basically." And Collector, I'm just playing pretend like you said it, and King basically warns the Collector, playing pretend still has consequences, especially with your level of power. And he's like, "Hey, even Collector managed like, hey, what if I talk to Ida? Like I'm sure the curse is gone by now, and if I talk to her real nice and tell her I will play fair, maybe we can all be friends." Yeah, the Collector wants to be friends with Ida, but King's like, "Oh, I don't know about that," because he kind of lies by saying, Ida's still in beast mode, and Collector's like, "Oh, I thought I'd be worn off by now." And then, look at Luce, like, what in the heck? And then come on and say, "Oh, hey, is that King, the little King guy you were mentioning before?" And Lucius nods like, "Yeah." And Camilla's like, "Oh, I King Lindo," and very cute little guy. And Clutch is like, "Oh, let's go, King." And then Hunter's like, we need to get there." And this is where the students from Hexside come in, Bartholomew, Scara, and Barkus. And this is where we get the school setting, and I am really not in favor of it. I really think I'm just kind of go through it with just go through it quickly until we actually get to the Willow, Hunter, and Gus stuff, and a little bit of Luce, but that's really it. I'm just gonna skim through the rest because I really just don't like the school stuff. Excuse me, sorry. I even like kind of like when I was making my final review, I was kind of thinking I'm gonna take a point out for just like the whole school setting. It didn't really need it. You could have just made like a base like somewhere else with like some Hexside students, because they do kind of like a Lord of the Flies type of thing. And I don't know, when I think Lord of the Flies, I think of a tragedy, and in Hexside they were kind of making them go kind of crazy, but it's still kind of kid-friendly type of crazy. I don't know. It just wasn't working. So basically, Principal Bomb, all the teachers, the drain spell happened. but the drain spell obviously stopped, so they're okay, kind of. But this where these star minions came about, possess people, capture Principal Bump. Yeah, Bartholomew did this type of face, and he even called himself like Mantholomew or something, whatever. And yeah, like Lord Flies, the preschoolers are going crazy. Um, wait, hold on a second. Hold on a second. Oh, there was a nice moment between Viney and Willow saying like, "Oh, Willow, all this stuff has been happening." Because, and I'm talking about Viney right here because I like Viney. Now, there was a weird moment between Eileen and Gus of eating paper clips because Gus finally figured out that humans don't actually eat paper clips. Okay, I guess it's a callback from season 1. I guess it's nice. Gus finally learned his lesson. And Gus, a nice moment with Emra and Amity and Edric. And Ed's like, I guarantee M is the older sibling out of all of these three. Or maybe not, who knows? And Ed's just goofy. And M's like, Ed, you're gonna hurt yourself. I don't care. I'm gonna hug my sister. And it's like, oh, Blue, like, oh, I missed you too, goofballs. And I guess Edric like fell in a well or something. And I guess they were like rock set about him. Oh, hey, look. In memory of the coolest principal ever, Principal Bump, aka Princey B. that was totally by Ida. And what was her name again? Celine. She's not like an official character, but I think like somewhere like on Twitter, someone said like her name's Celine. So we have Celine, Edric, Amity, Emra, Barkus, Scara, Gus, Mantholomew, I guess, Hunter, Luce, Camilla, Willow, Viney, and I'm not sure she has a name. So this person, unnamed. Anyway, so I guess there was a moment. It doesn't really even matter, I guess. But Bosch is calling like, oh, Matt Tholomew, you had to come to like the gymnasium, and Gus like, wait, has Tholomew been your last name this entire time? Because everyone thought that Bartholomew was his first name, and no one knew his last name. But no, Tholomew was actually his last name. So Steve Tholomew. I don't know what to think of that. But Gus is just shocked beyond all belief. And then Matt is just like, whatever. And again, we go back to the cool stuff, not the school stuff. Bellows goes into his cave. And we just get previous golden guards along with Caleb with the knife. And Bellows looks at them and is like, shut up. Oh, Bellows. And he goes back to his lab, and yeah, he just goes into a new Grimwalker body, and it starts moving. And the Collector and King go back, and I guess Odalia's working for them. And okay, kind of skipping over this part. Odalia thinks, oh, I can manipulate this child to do my bidding, so I can create a world that's in my order. But the Collector, from King's experience, knew Odalia was a terrible mother to Amity and Edric and Emra. So like, oh, your mom, Dahlia, you're gonna do all the mom stuff. She just wants to be a businesswoman. She doesn't want to be a mother. He even says, give me pizza bagels for me and King. And this is where he's like, King, read me a story. Oh, there was even a moment where Clutcher's like, we can play like freeze tag on the moon, and Clutcher's like, wow, that's an idea. And I actually want to play this. Okay, wait, hold on a second. I don't wanna mess this up. Obviously, it's so long it goes across the globe. That's how long the story is. And King just basically starts at the beginning, and yeah, I'll start right here.
Okay. Collectors live long, we watch things pass.
Okay.
To preserve, to observe, we must amass.
Okay.
What flies, what swims, be it predator or prey.
Right.
Seal them up so that they never fade.
Okay.
Ah.
Yeah. So basically say they observe and they collect things. If it's predator, prey, if it flies, swims. But again, you basically get this part where it says, "But should they meddle in our affairs, we will clean the planet and scorch the air." And this is where King is kind of worried, kind of like, "Oh, should I read this?" And the collector is like, wait, hold on a second. Collector said, no, don't read that part, because the collector doesn't like when, I guess, other collectors scorch the air, but playing is more fun, make friends instead, and the others think boo. Because I guess these are the other collectors. People call them the archivist. So I guess the collector is their name, this collector, and their species is called the archivist. So collector the archivist, I guess. Anyway, but yes, the collector just wants to make friends. He just doesn't know how. And even collector's like, "Oh, can I sleep with Francois King?" It's, "Oh, Francois only sleeps with me." And the collector's like, "You let him sleep with Luce once." And so Luce was different, and she was like my sister. And collector's like, "Oh, I don't like Luce." And collector sleeps and King leaves. And we have Basha here. And I'm just gonna skip over this part. There was a moment where Basha is like doing like a student council, and it's like, "I wanted to run a student council, but Principal Bump thought I was too obsessed about it." But whatever. And so Lucy's like, "Oh, hey, we should make a plan to stop the collector." And Basha basically says no because she's a bully. And Matt is like saying, I agree, we should make changes, but Basha won't listen to us. Blah 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 blah. Hold on a second. Yeah, just look at Hunter. He's just not having it. That's the only best part of school. And basically King's talking to Adalia like, "Hey, can I have Hoodie for a second?" "Yeah, sure, okay, whatever." And yes, so we basically have the puppets here. And look at Ida. She's obviously not a puppet. What is she doing? And she's acting crazy. And Ida went out of the boundaries, and all like the puppets went to like attack her. Well, hold on a second. Take a look at that. And King's like, "Oh, Ida, the collector still thinks you're in beast mode. What are you doing? You're gonna get yourself caught." And you see that she's not taking her potions. She has feathers everywhere. And Ida's like, "Oh, I like visiting Rain." And they kind of zoom in on Rain. I wonder, can they hear her? Maybe. And we get to like this like secret fortress, and we have Lilith here, and he's like, "Hey, Lily, look who King got," and then basically Lilith's like, "Oh, not now, Ida. I got you a potion," and her feathers go away, and like, "Oh, it tastes terrible every time, but thank you." And then Lilith was like, "Oh my goodness, Lucifer!" And her tears awaken Hootie, and Hootie can understand Lulu, and Lilith can understand Hootie because because Lucifer is like, "Oh, by Knight's name, oh, could it be thy Lulu or something? It be Lucifer." And he's like, "Oh, Ida." He's like, "Oh, Hootie, you creep me out every time, but I love you." And like, and King's kind of wondering who else should I get out. Like, should I get Rain out next? Maybe should I convince the collector maybe or someone else? And then like, and he's like, "Oh no, King, you risk too much." And obviously, Ida and King are kind of really worried about each other. And Love basically kind of jinxes. This was like a Twitter post or something, or was it Reddit? I'm not sure. Saying that, Love, every time you say that the kids are out of danger, they're in the dangerous situation. So thanks a lot, Lulu. And yeah, so the kids are sneaking around. Who cares? They nice callback of their version of Christmas of Willow opening presents with their dads. Oh, traitor. We have Scar here, and Eat It, We Won. I love it. Clover, and oh, look at how happy Flapjack and Hunter are. Oh, I love this so much. And even Gus says like, "Oh my goodness, Bartholomew, I can't believe Matt. I can't believe you're actually a competent leader." And Matt's like, "Was it ever a surprise to you?" And he's like, "Yes, yes, it was." A lot of people ship those two. I actually just want them to be friends, at least for now, because a lot of people kind of took that as like flirting, and I'm like, no, because Gus is still like in the phase of him doubting Matt and only just realizing that he can actually be capable of things and not just being a screw up and being a bully, or just being kind of like a sort of jerk, not a full on bully, but he's still kind of jerkish. He's only now realizing, oh, you're actually a competent leader, and he even realizes that, like, yeah, I actually doubted you. So I don't ship them at all, at least for now. Maybe when they become adults, maybe, who knows? I don't know. And Luke's like, "Oh, we had to find the spell to teleport into the castle so we won't be spotted," basically. And it was a nice moment between Luce and Willow saying, "Hey, we won't do any shenanigans. Like, we won't pry into other people's memories to force our will onto them or anything." Luce had good intentions, but her going into messing with Willow's photos and stuff like that, and Amity burned them. It was a whole mess, and Luce and Amity shouldn't have done that. We get to the good stuff where Bellis is possessing Grimwalker, and then he's like, "It's not ready. I guess it has to cook," basically. And this was funny. Odalia's like, "I wonder who will see my potential, except for this collector kid." And Bellis is like, "Oh, you'll do nicely." I thought this was hilarious. And then after everything, even though Bellis is a goop monster, Odalia wants to be recognized, and then Odalia's like, "Me?" And then Bellis like, "No." You just get out of the way. And then and just goes into Rain. And oh my goodness, if you were one of the people who were like doing like reactions to that, and everyone was like, "Oh, you knew you would be tugging on our heartstrings if you Bells would possess Rain and not Odalia." And sorry, excuse me. I just want to point out something. The spell in question. Oh, come on, can't I see it? Okay. This shouldn't be the case because this is a memory photo from Luce's perspective. So why is it from that angle? Like, why would Luce remember from this angle? That doesn't really make any sense. I think it's just a plot convenience for us to know exactly how the spell circle was drawn. If she was doing it from like a big height, and she remembered it, and like maybe she went on top of Lilith's shoulders or something, and we wouldn't see Lilith in like the frame. We only saw Lucy's head and just saw that. Maybe that could have worked, but this doesn't make any sense. And like you know and basically Will's talking to Hunter like, hey, like you know, like, hey, we don't care who you're supposed to be because you're one of us now, and we love you and we care about you. And even Lucy's like, hey, Hunter, you okay? And he's like, I don't know. And Will just expected a great response, and Hunter didn't say anything mean. Say saying, oh, like, I hate you, Willow, I hate you for like bringing Flapjack into this. Like he should just be resting in peace. And I don't want to mention him ever again because I don't want to feel sad. But no, he just like, I don't know how to feel. And Will just expected a great response because she's just a fixer upper, and you know she's literally entangling herself, and she's like, I gotta go. And basically Gus is talking to Hunter like, hey man, I gotta get something off my chest. Look, I know you're related to Caleb. I know you're a clone of him. I knew you were Grimwalker, and I recognized you from the statue, or like your ancestor, and I don't know what to do, because I'm even blaming myself, because maybe if I even like told everybody, or even maybe if I should have just told you instead of just hinting it to you, maybe we wouldn't be sad right now, maybe we wouldn't be upset, and maybe you wouldn't be so conflicted. And so Gus is just kind of going through something too. I kind of wish that was a little bit more explored. And Hunter just doesn't really know what to say, but he kind of wants to apologize, but he's really confused. And Gus like, I'll talk to Willow, don't worry. And then Hunter finally collects himself and saying, no, Willow, Gus, wait. And again, blah, 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 Basha. And I guess that little girl, I guess it was Kikimora. Okay, who cares? Sleeping nettles. Okay, they're knocked out. And this is the interesting part. Bellows inside of Rain. He's I'm saying he because it's technically Bellows right here. So just to be clear. So he, inside of Rain's body, he's dripping goop, and he's about to goopify the Collector. He was actually pretty close to doing it. Here comes the goop. Obviously, the Collector is powerful, so they sense it and entangle Bellows, basically. But the Collector doesn't know it's Bellows. They say, hey, I didn't order you to move. Oh, like, oh, dear Collector. Oh, your kindness. I'm so like under your spell by your magic. But he's just manipulating them. But it's like, oh, it was your kindness that brought me to life. What is this, Pinocchio? And again, Basha, you know, Kikimora, who cares? But Basha feels kind of bad. Okay. Basically, Luce, Camilla, go their separate ways, and then we have Bartholomew and Amity. Basha wants Amity back on the team. Some people say that Basha had feelings for Amity at one point. Okay. Sorry, all these like plot lines are just going through just one special. I mean, if you wanted Basha to have feelings for Amity, or just or just her friend back on her team, that should have been its own plot line in an episode. Like, we should have had half of a season 3, back in the demon realm, but we didn't have that, so everything's just crammed in. I like this though, Bartholomew using illusions to fool Basha. Awesome, cool. And Basha's like, where's Amity? She didn't leave again, did she? And Amy's like, Basha, stand down. I can't be who you want me to be. And we have Hunter. This friend looks like Hunter's trying to strangle Gus, but he's like, hey Gus, wake up. And you know, Hunter's basically kind of coming to terms with Flapjack's death. Instead of just being angry or just being confused, he's like, Flapjack, I miss you. And then, yeah, Willow's just getting out of control with her magic because she's finally just started to let go to confront Basha, and then Gus spooked her while she was just trying to to settle down herself. But yeah, baby's Gus spooked her. Her magic's getting out of control, and you know, and she look, is this like a jungle around her, like literally a jungle inside her mind and outside. Because she's a Gus Hunter, hello? Because yeah, they're entangled in the vines. And again, we get back to Belle's manipulating the collector. And always even Belle's is like, oh, you're in danger, collector. It's, oh, King's gonna betray you. Why don't you look for him yourself? This is just super lucky. I guess Belle's was just assuming that the collector would just find something incriminating from King. Because the Belle's would obviously know that. Sorry, wouldn't Belle's would. I'm sorry, words. Sorry. Hold on a second. Okay. Let me get my words corrected. Belle's wouldn't have any idea of what King, Lilith, and Ida are planning. There's just no way. So this is just a stroke of luck, basically, saying that, well, obviously no one can like the collector because he's just causing a bunch of problems. So obviously King doesn't like him. So I'm gonna use that against him. Okay, Belle's, sure. And then you know, we basically have King saying that, oh, like Titan powers can cancel out the collector. I have a permanent solution because we can't just trap him again. And Collector's like, that doesn't sound very friendly. And I want to play this because the King is like saying like, hey, I want to reason with the collector. I think he can be talked to. I want to play this right here.
Let me talk to him. Immortal being to semi-immortal being. It's worth a try if no more people get hurt, right? Oh, you're growing up too fast for me, kid.
Oh, I love that so much because I'm trying to be careful. Like, what type of clips should I play? Should I play like Willow in that like them in that floral jungle? Should I have played a clip earlier? I'm just trying to figure out what clips have I played already. So I played this one. Bellows confronting Caleb's ghost. I played that one. Was that it so far? Yeah. Yep. Okay. So yeah, I played 2 so far. Okay. And again, Kikimura. Who cares? This is good. This conversation between Luce and her mom, saying, Luce, I keep messing up. And Kamila's like, you don't think I messed up before? And Kamila's like, she went to like a pyramid scheme with these energy drinks or something. I got my wisdom teeth appointment done on the day of my wedding. Oh my goodness, that must have been awful. But I didn't stand up for you when I needed you the most. You should even quote something from Cosmic Frontier and say, oh my goodness, mom, are you a secret nerd? Look at that face. And it's like, oh, Luce, I love you so much. And yeah, the egg hatches and Luce says, I just wanted to be understood. Wait, hold on a second. Wait. Where'd that crazy face go? Like, dang, take a look at that. Someone said that can make like a great t-shirt. Yeah. That could even be painting. And yeah, we had got this like purple orb. I'm like thinking, oh well, what type of animal is it gonna be? And again, we have Willow here, and she's like, trapping herself in the vines. She's like, I can do this. No, I can't do this. Again, why couldn't this be its own episode? It's really good. And I just want to play this right here because basically Willow says that I'll always be half a witch Willow, and yeah, that's Hunter's breaking point. I ain't having any of that. Hold on a second. Hunter has magic.
You didn't make anything worse. You didn't do anything wrong. You guys mean the world to me, and I didn't know how to say that yet. Just please don't call yourself that ever again.
Sorry, I don't want to play too much, but yeah, Hunter's eyes glow golden, and he has that speed dash attack, and that's a pretty cool move for Hunter. It's like his own signature move, and yeah, basically Flapjack gave him magic, and he basically freed Willow from her own vine, saying, "You didn't do anything wrong. You didn't make it worse. I was so confused. I was hurt, but it wasn't by you, and I didn't know how to talk to you guys about it because this is all so new for me. But I'm ready to say that I care about you guys so much. But don't you dare call yourself that ever again. Because Hunter knows what it's like to feel like a half witch. Will does also. And even I cut the part of the clip because I can't play the whole thing by saying, you were holding in a lot, have you? And even Gus said like, "Hey Willow, I'm sorry too." Even with Gus, no, it's not entirely his fault. He's like, "I always treat you like the reliable one, but even reliable people need some people to rely on also." And Willow, just comes to terms saying, "I miss my dad. I miss my dads." And she just cries, and yeah, take a look at that silhouette. And yeah, Hunter just basically it can take the delusion of Gus saying, "Hey, I'm over here." And yeah, he just dashes them out of here, and then and it's like, "Oh, you have magic, dude," and Hunter's like, "The magic of friendship," and then and Will's like, "No, the magic of Flapjack." That's hilarious. And yeah, Luz has a staff, and Genki Kimura, who cares? Oh, hold on a second. Wait, even Luz says I missed a lot when Hunter did the whole dash thing. Wait a minute. To take a look at that, yeah, Will likes Hunter back. Look, she's blushing. Guess it's a surprise, oh my goodness. And yeah, the whole school comes against Kikimura. Great, Bosch is doing the right thing finally. And yeah. And even Kamose saying, "Hey, Obelia, I'm really proud of you." That's really nice. And again, to finally reveal, and it's a snake shifter basically. Luz named her String Bean. I love the name. I love the color. Even the end of the tail. It's a snake. I love it. The whole the color concept, the color scheme with the green eyes. I love that. That is great. But the fact that she can turn into any type of animal, it just makes her so powerful. Why does she have to have such an OP palisman while everyone else has just a great palisman? It just doesn't really make any sense. Especially, it kind of seems to me that maybe this is just speculation, that maybe the writers were kind of afraid that whatever animal they were going to pick, the fans some of the fans would just end up hating it because it just wouldn't be their pick. So they're like, "Oh, we'll just pick everything." And especially since Luz finally coming to terms of what she wants. I just want to be understood, and Stringbean finally hatched. And I know you can say "Oh, maybe Stringbean wants to be a snake shifter," but what even is this type of animal? It hasn't been introduced into the Blood House. Palisman can just become its own species, or is this an extinct species like Grimwalkers or greater basilisks? This was never explained. Maybe if we had more episodes, maybe I would have cared about this more. I just wanted an animal, but it just seems so OP. It can throw to any animal she wants. Again, I love Stringbean. She looks like a cutie pie. I love that. I love the color scheme, but the fact that she can turn to any animal, it bugs me. But I love this part. Will's "You mean a lot to me too, Hunter." And they both blush, and they hold hands. Come on, where's that moment? Come on. Yeah, like they hold hands, they hold pinkies. I love it. And like, and you know, they're all talking and stuff, and you know, Belle's is like, oh, look at them, Collateral, they're having fun without you, and oh, like I said, that they're plotting with King to get rid of you. What are you going to do? And Collateral's like, I think it's time for a new game. Ooh, Anonymous, I love that. And again, we get some, you know, end credits. Tea party. Hold on a second. So I'm just gonna end it. I'm just gonna end it right there. With this final shot. But yeah. Just an okay special. 60%. Again, I love, you know, Hunter and Willow getting together. I wish Willow's, you know, section of the episode was his own episode, because it kind of felt that it was kind of jammed in there, which is a shame, because I love Willow as a character. You know, Hunter coming to terms with Flapjack's death, and Flapjack giving him magic. I love that. And Gus kind of coming to terms with him missing his dad and feeling guilty for not coming clean with Hunter, instead of just dropping hints and finally saying, I shouldn't have just been dropping hints, I should have just told you that I knew you were Grimwalker, and just told everybody, because maybe things would have been better. Maybe there would have been Gus, or maybe things would have been worse. We don't know at this point. You know, it really depends on perspective, really. But yeah, Basha, the school, I only really cared about a couple of characters that we met at the school. Gus appreciates Matt as a leader, and we know Matt about, like, you know, his actual name is Matt Thaumiel. Matt Thaumiel's his last name, I guess. I really don't care, but okay, sure. Amity wanted to start like a student council at school, but Bump thought she was too obsessed. I like the conversation between Luce and Camilla about, you know, Camilla made mistakes too, and you had to learn from them. I thought it was really good. Again, Streambean, I love the name, I love her color concept, but I don't like that she could turn into every animal. Okay, I'm done with that rant. Let's see. Oh, the Palestinians following Hunter. I'm assuming it was because of Flapjack. Belle's King ghosts. King trying to figure a way to reason with the Collector, and, you know, even Ida saying, "Oh, King, you're growing up." You know, all of that. Lulu and Hootsuper reuniting. That was nice. Bello's possessing Rain. Odalia just wanted to get some sort of power to saying, Belle said, "Oh, you want to possess me?" Like, Odalia, what's wrong with you? Whatever. Anyway, 60%. I really wish it was better, especially since the first special I thought it was great. I gave that an 80, 60. But yeah, so everyone, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification bell, give me a big thumbs up, leave a comment down below. Don't forget to share the video. Don't forget to check out my community posts and my mini reviews. I did a mini review yesterday. I think it passed 100 views so far, I believe. So yeah, you can check that out. And I'll see you guys Thursday, Friday, or Saturday. Because again, like most of the week, I'm gonna be busy. Okay, see you then. All right. Bye.